Jason Rzucidlo reporting for AmericaJR.com and being joined by Dean Taylor from Southern California Edison. How are you today?
Very well. How are you?
Very good. So now that Southern Californians have been driving their electric cars for about 5 years, I was wondering what's the impact on the power plants?
It's actually very small because the grid, the power network is so huge and so vast. We only have about 30,000 electric cars, on the Southern California Edison system. So as far as impact on transformers and the power plants is essentially negligible.
So we're not in any danger of a brownout or anything like that?
No, not at all.
Okay. What about when more folks start buying them? Is there any problems in the future?
The grid is constantly evolving, constantly being modernized to prepare for solar and for other renewable energy that's coming. So we're literally spending $4 billion a year in modernizing the grid. We're checking people's transformers when they're buying cars to help make sure that those are sized properly. So that is happening constantly.
All right. Now, I've heard the figure it costs like $1.35 a gallon to charge a volt or a leaf, but I wanted to monetize that. Like if they're plugged into a 120 volt plug, how much is it an hour?
It's kind of funny. You might say it's 3 miles per hour for 120 volts. If you're going to 240 volts, you can get going much faster. You can probably get up to 10 miles per hour of charging, or even 20 or even 30 miles per hour of charging. So you get different answers depending on how fast you're charging. But in general, another way of thinking about it is about $1 a gallon equivalent. You don't normally think of electricity in terms of gallons, but you could convert it in that. It's just an easy way to think about it.
Okay. So.
And that's using electricity off-peak. If you're plugging in on-peak on a time-of-use rate, the electricity could be quite a bit more. It could be $3 or $4 a gallon in those situations. Your other option is just to stay on your regular electricity rate. But you end up paying more when you do that because under today's electricity rates, they're set up so that the more you use, the more you pay. Okay. So you could get into what are called higher tiers, and you could be paying essentially $3 a gallon or so on those higher tiers. That's why it makes sense to go and contact Edison and get on. We have 2 different time of use rates. One is just for electric vehicles, one is for your entire house. Okay. And in cents per kilowatt hours, the off-peak rate is about 10 cents per kilowatt hour, which is about the same as $1 a gallon. And those numbers aren't ours, that's coming from the U.S. Department of Energy website.
Now you have a new rate schedule that just went into effect recently, is that correct?
Rate schedules are always being updated practically. We do have a new rate that is going to be coming in January for electric vehicles. And there's a lot of things about it that are much more favorable. For example, if you have air conditioning and an electric vehicle, this new rate will work out much better for you. If you have a car that is using 120 volts, like a plug-in hybrid or some of the battery EVs, the new rate will have a full 10-hour window from 10 o'clock at night to 8 o'clock in the morning, so you can charge at this $1 a gallon, essentially off-peak rate.
Very good. Now, what do you say to folks who are considering an electric vehicle? They're like, well, we're just trading in gasoline for more use on the power plants. Isn't that still bad? What do you say to them?
One of the biggest reasons why the government is requiring electric vehicles and other zero-emission vehicles is because of the environmental benefits. So they do what is called an analysis from well to wheels, meaning from the wellhead or the field all the way to the power plant or the refinery, and then all the way to the wheels of the car. And when you do that, the emissions for the electric car, as far as the air pollution, smog-forming gases, are essentially 99.9% cleaner. And then when you look at the climate change gases that are coming out, it's about 70% less. And if you had solar on your roof, it would be 100% less. In addition, you're not using any foreign oil. So it's dramatically better. And this isn't our numbers. These are numbers from the government and environmental groups and others. So.
Now, and for those people who are still thinking of getting an electric car, they're probably wondering, how much more is their bill going to go up? Is it going to double? Is it going to just go up maybe like $5? How do you explain that?
We have actually a website calculator that you can come to at sce.com and answer that, because it's a very personal decision. It kind of depends on how much you're driving your car. Are you driving 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 miles per year? So go use that calculator to help give you a better sense of that. I know in my personal situation, I'm driving a plug-in hybrid, about 15,000 miles electric each year. I'm another 5,000 miles in gasoline. So again, my electric bill is only going up like $20, maybe $40 a month. But in comparison to what my gasoline bill is going down, is dramatically different. I mean, I'm saving hundreds and hundreds of dollars every year from not using the gasoline.
All right. Any other final comments here?
No, thank you. That's enough.
All right. Thanks so much. Nice talking with you today.